My name is Olivia. I'm 28 years old, and my life changed completely in one day. My grandfather left me $14 billion from his estate. Yeah, you heard that right. 14 billion. But this isn't a story about money. This is a story about betrayal, about being stabbed in the back by the people who were supposed to love you. Because the day I received that inheritance, that was the day my parents became my enemies. Look, I was very close to my grandpa. He was a self made billionaire. He had a real estate empire, hotels, companies, properties, everything. But money wasn't everything to him. Family was important, respect was important, values were important. And me, he raised me like his own daughter. My parents, they were always after grandpa's money. They only wanted the inheritance. Never loved grandpa, only loved his wealth. Grandpa knew this. He saw everything. When he got sick, my parents didn't visit him in the hospital even once. I was there every day, every night, sitting beside him, holding his hand. And when he passed away, my parents came to the funeral only once for the will reading. That day, the lawyer read the will. I leave my entire estate worth approximately $14 billion to my granddaughter Olivia. Silence. Complete silence. Then mom's voice came, shrill, angry. What? This is wrong. That's our property, Dad yelled. This girl manipulated him. This is unfair. I was in shock. I never thought Grandpa would leave me so much. The lawyer said Mr. Harrison made his decision very carefully. He specifically wrote that Olivia gets everything because she was the only one who truly loved him. Mom glared at me, and in that look, there was so much hate, so much anger. You manipulative little bitch, she said. My own mother. Dad grabbed my hand, tight, very tight. You're going to share this inheritance. It's our right. I said, Dad, this was Grandpa's decision. To hell with his decision, Dad shouted. He went crazy. You brainwashed him. This money isn't yours. I pulled my hand away. I know this is shocking, but Grandpa made his decision. Mom slapped me. Right there, in front of everyone, in front of the lawyer, in front of the family. You ungrateful girl, she said. We raised you. We brought you up. And you took everything from us? My eyes filled with tears. Mom, I didn't do anything. Grandpa himself, shut up, Dad yelled. You're going to return all of this. Understand? Otherwise, we'll take you to court. We'll destroy your life. The lawyer interfered. Mr. and Mrs. Parker, legally this inheritance belongs to Olivia. You can contest it, but oh, we will contest, Mom screamed. We'll drag her to court. And they left, leaving me alone. From that day, my parents made my life a living hell. They filed a lawsuit claiming I manipulated Grandpa, that he wasn't in his right mind, that I brainwashed him. They hired the best lawyers, spent hundreds of thousands trying to get the money, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what they did to me personally. They called me every day, screaming, threatening, saying horrible things. Mom said, You destroyed our family. You're not our daughter anymore. Dad said, You're dead to us unless you give us what's ours. They went to the media, told lies about me, said I abused Grandpa, that I isolated him from the family. Can you imagine? My own parents, on TV, calling me an abuser. I couldn't go anywhere without people recognizing me, judging me. Some believed their lies. I was devastated. I lost my parents. My reputation was destroyed. People thought I was this evil person who manipulated a sick old man. I cried every night. I felt so alone. The money? I didn't even care about it anymore. I just wanted my family back, but they didn't want me. They wanted the billions. Um, the court case dragged on. My parents brought witnesses, people who barely knew grandpa, people they paid to lie. My lawyer was confident we'd win. Olivia, the will is solid. Your grandfather was evaluated. He was of sound mind. We have proof. But emotionally, I was breaking. I went to therapy. I needed help dealing with everything. My therapist said, Olivia, you need to understand something. Your parents are showing you who they really are. Believe them. Those words hit hard. My parents were showing me their true colors, and it was ugly. I made a decision. I wasn't gonna let them destroy me. I was going to honor Grandpa's legacy, use his money for something meaningful. I started looking into Grandpa's businesses, understanding his empire, learning about his work, and I discovered something. Grandpa had dreams, projects he wanted to start, charities he wanted to fund, but he never got the chance before he died. I decided to make those dreams come true. Uh, I started a foundation, the Harrison Foundation, dedicated to helping underprivileged kids get education, building schools, providing scholarships. I invested in hospitals, in research facilities, in community programs. I wasn't just sitting on $14 billion. I was using it to change lives. Before I tell you what happened next, hit that subscribe button real quick. The foundation grew. We built 20 schools in the first year, provided scholarships to thousands of students, funded medical research that saved lives. News outlets started covering it, but this time the coverage was different. Olivia Harrison, granddaughter of billionaire Robert Harrison, is using her inheritance to transform communities. The Harrison Foundation has already impacted over 50,000 lives. People started seeing the truth that I wasn't this evil manipulator, I was someone trying to make a difference. Meanwhile, my parents' lawsuit was falling apart. Every witness they brought was discredited. Every claim they made was disproven. The judge was not impressed with them. And then came the final hearing. My parents sat across from me in that courtroom, looking bitter, looking desperate. The judge reviewed everything. Then he spoke. Mr. and Mrs. Parker, I've seen many inheritance disputes, but this case is particularly disturbing. My parents sat up straight. The evidence clearly shows that Robert Harrison was of sound mind when he made his will. Multiple doctors confirmed this. His lawyer confirmed this. There is no basis for your claims. That tried to interrupt. Your Honor, if you would just. I'm not finished, the judge said firmly. What disturbs me most is your behavior towards your daughter, the harassment, the public defamation, the emotional abuse. Mom's face went pale. This court finds no merit in your case. The will stands as written. Olivia Harrison is the rightful heir to the estate. He banged the gavel. It was over. My parents lost. I should have felt victorious, but I just felt empty. They stood up to leave. Mom looked at me with pure hatred. Dad wouldn't even make eye contact. I walked out of that courtroom and I breathed. For the first time in months, I could breathe. But the story doesn't end there. The foundation continued growing. We expanded internationally, built schools in developing countries, funded medical clinics, created job training programs. I became known not as the granddaughter who inherited billions, but as someone who was actually doing good with it. I got invited to speak at conferences at universities, um, about philanthropy, about honoring legacy, about using wealth responsibly, And everywhere I went, people shared stories of how the foundation changed their lives, kids who got education, families who got medical care, communities that got resources. That's when I realized Grandpa knew exactly what he was doing. He didn't leave me money, he left me purpose. He knew my parents would waste it, spend it on themselves, on luxury, on nothing meaningful. But me, he knew I'd honor his values, use it to help people, and I did. Then something happened, something I didn't expect. I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. It was my aunt, my mom's sister. Olivia, she said softly, I need to tell you something about your parents. I listened. They're broke, she said. The lawsuit cost them everything. They took loans to pay the lawyers. They're in massive debt now. I stayed quiet. Your mom called me yesterday. She was crying. She said, um, she said they made a terrible mistake. My heart clenched. They lost everything, Olivia. Their house, their savings, everything. And now they're alone. No one talks to them anymore. The family has distanced themselves after what they did to you. I didn't know what to feel. Part of me wanted to feel satisfied. They got what they deserved, right? But another part, another part just felt sad. A few weeks went by. Then I got a letter, handwritten, from my mom. I stared at it for a long time before opening it. The letter said, Olivia, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to even read this, but I need to say it anyway. I'm sorry. I'm so deeply sorry for everything. When your grandfather left you that money, I lost my mind. All I could see was what I didn't have, what I thought I deserved. I didn't see you. My own daughter. I called you horrible names. I tried to destroy you. I chose money over you. And I will regret that for the rest of my life. You were right. Your grandfather was right. He saw what we really were, greedy, selfish, bad people. And he saw what you were, kind, caring, someone who would actually make a difference. We lost everything, Olivia. The lawsuit, our savings, our home, our reputation. But the worst thing I lost you. I lost my daughter. And no amount of money is worth that. I don't expect anything from you. I just wanted you to know you deserve that inheritance. You earned it. Not with manipulation, but with love. Real love. Something your father and I never showed your grandfather. I'm proud of what you're doing with the foundation. I see the news. I see the lives you're changing. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. I'm sorry I couldn't see it before. I'm sorry for everything. Mom, I cried reading that letter. I cried for a long time. Was it enough? Did one letter erase everything they did? No. But it was something. It was acknowledgement. It was them finally seeing the truth. I didn't respond to the letter immediately. I needed time to process everything. But eventually I did something. I set up a trust fund, not billions, but enough. Enough to clear their debts, enough to give them a modest, comfortable life. I didn't tell them it was from me. I had the foundation handle it anonymously because you know what? Despite everything they did, they were still my parents. And I wasn't gonna let them be homeless, but I also wasn't gonna have them in my life, not after everything. I heard through my aunt that they received the help, that they were shocked, that they suspected it was me. My aunt said, Your mom cried. She said she didn't deserve it. She was right. She didn't, but I didn't do it for her. I did it for me, for my peace, for closure. I continued my work with the foundation. We reached our goal of building 100 schools. We funded research that led to medical breakthroughs. We helped communities rise out of poverty. And Grandpa, I felt him with me every day in every school we built, every life we changed. He left me $14 billion. Um, but more than that, he left me a legacy, um, a purpose, a way to make the world better. My parents tried to take every penny. They tried to destroy me. They chose greed over their own daughter. But in the end, they lost everything. And they realized too late what really mattered. Money doesn't make you rich. Love does. Purpose does. Making a difference does. I learned that. Grandpa knew that. My parents finally learned it too, but they learned it the hard way. I didn't need revenge. Life gave them that. I just needed to honor the man who believed in me, who saw my worth when my own parents didn't. And I did exactly that.